Hi, it's Ginny Lindsay from 2 to 3 Relationship Counselling in Crow's Nest. And I wanted to have a chat to you about sticking to the point. So you may go, well, what does that mean? And why is it beneficial? Number one in communication and conflict resolution is to stick to the point. Because when we stick to the point, we can then have a constructive conversation. But what I often see playing out in the room is something quite different, which is where we chime in, what happens when you do this? And what happens when that happens there? And so it dilutes the actual issue at hand. So one of the skills is actually to really stay on point. It's to stay to the point of what the issue is that either one of you has raised with the other, and actually really going, because from a place of, instead of being in gridlock, which is where, well, this is how I see it and this is how I see it, which never really works, and I'm sure you've all experienced a bit of that. It's much more being able to open it up. And when we open it up, and I just do that with my hands, in here is where my values, my dreams, my hopes, my beliefs, my expectations, that's where all that is. And that is going to underpin why I hold my position on a particular issue that you might be talking about. So the way to get out of gridlock is to be able to open it up and be able to go, let's stick to the issue at hand. What is the issue that we're talking about? Help me understand your position. Help me understand your position. So taking a position of curiosity to try and understand each person's position. When we do that, we have really constructive conversations rather than destructive conversations, which is when we either get into gridlock or we're just trying to push by pushing our own barrow, or we're actually chiming in other situations, which is, well, what about when you've done it here, or when you've done it there? That, as I say, dilutes the situation. So not great. So when you have conflict, the best way is to work out what is the issue of concern that you are addressing, and make sure that you keep coming back to it. If one of you, by default, just goes back and says, well, what about, what about when you do it this way? And just say, let's just keep to the issue, which is for this issue of concern, this context, because that way you're going to get resolution and it's going to be constructive. But if you want to hear any more on how to do this, or you find this is playing out in your relationship and communication is an issue, please call me. I'm based in Crow's Nest, 0412 88 2345. Because this is something that often does come up in relationships, and it is really quite destructive in having conflict resolution, and that's one of the main things a lot of people come to see me about. So if you've liked this, please like this. It's also on Zoom, so subscribe there and you will be the first to get any updates on new videos that I do. Enjoy this beautiful day. Spring is in the air, and have a wonderful time. Take care. Bye.